champion of the world, the future Hall of Fame legend, Roy Jones Jr.
No one expected Floyd Mayweather versus Roy Jones Jr. to even be a topic of conversation in 2025. These are two legends from completely different eras, one defined by his untouchable defense, the other by explosive athleticism that looked almost superhuman at its peak. But instead of fading quietly into retirement, both men have been trading blows outside the ring, turning a fantasy matchup into one of the most heated feuds in boxing today.
I'm always ready, wide open, ready to go. Let's call it.
Roy Jones and Muhammad Ali is the same fighter. Their defense is their legs. They're young, and at the top of their game, they can move. Once their legs went away, they sat in a rope-a-dope.
The spark? A bold statement from Roy Jones Jr. on a podcast that sent shockwaves through the sport. When asked about dream matchups, Roy didn't hesitate. He flat out said a prime Sugar Ray Leonard would easily beat a prime Floyd Mayweather. To Roy, Floyd wasn't ruthless enough, not aggressive enough, not mean enough to deal with a fighter like Sugar Ray.
And you did it because, in my honest opinion, which Sugar Ray Leonard said the same thing. When Andre Ward asked me on All the Smoke, do I think Floyd would beat Sugar Ray Leonard? Hell no. I bet my life that he won't beat Sugar Ray Leonard. I bet my life today that he wouldn't be the prime Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm sorry. But like I tell people, it's just the facts.
Floyd Mayweather didn't respond with words. Instead, he turned to Instagram and posted something brutal, a reel of Roy Jones Jr. getting knocked out over and over again on a giant TV screen. No caption, no commentary, just cold silence and humiliation broadcast to millions.
Career, he's really been hurt. He's gone down before one time, but there was a perfect left hand. Roy never saw it coming. Roy is out, and Roy may be out of boxing.
That's why Tarver wanted to be the counterpuncher, because he answered Roy's right hand with a perfect left hand shot that knocked Jones out. There it was.
The internet went wild, and in that moment, the feud between two icons of the sport became personal. It all began on June 17th, when Roy Jones Jr. appeared on the All the Smoke Fight podcast. During the conversation, he was asked about how Floyd would match up against Sugar Ray Leonard. His response was blunt. Floyd wouldn't stand a chance. Roy explained that people often confuse Mayweather's flawless record with invincibility. Floyd is not nearly as mean as Sugar was, Roy said, stressing that Leonard's calm demeanor hid a ruthless streak. Sugar is a dog. Just because his name is Sugar don't mean nothing.
Floyd would beat Sugar. No, baby, Floyd is not as nearly as mean as Sugar was.
You don't think you would have beat him?
How? How you gonna keep him off of him? Right. Sugar is a dog. Yeah. People don't, just cause his name Sugar don't mean nothing. Yeah. Sugar is a dog. People don't give him enough credit for that. You gotta think, this in around, between around 13 and 14, I think. Angelo Dundee said, you're blowing it, son. Sugar Ray Leonard got went there and put these things on Tommy Hearns.
According to Roy, Mayweather's defensive counterpunching style would collapse against Leonard's speed, combinations, and most importantly, his heart. This wasn't just a casual opinion. Coming from Roy, it was a direct attack on Floyd's legacy. To suggest that Mayweather, who built his career on the idea of being unbeatable, could be exposed by a fighter from the past, was enough to ignite controversy. And Floyd wasn't about to let that slide. On July 6th, Floyd Mayweather finally broke his silence, but not through interviews or statements. Instead, he logged onto Instagram and delivered one of the pettiest, yet most devastating responses in recent memory. He posted 4 consecutive videos of Roy Jones Jr.'s most painful knockouts. The camera didn't even show Floyd's face, just his massive TV screen as he sat back, quietly watching Roy crumble in fight after fight. No explanation, no smug captions, just humiliation delivered straight to the public eye. The move was classic Mayweather, calculated, flashy, and designed to stir up maximum attention without him ever having to say a word. Within hours, The clips went viral across social media, sparking debates, memes, and thousands of angry comments from Roy's supporters. For fans, it was a reminder that Floyd didn't just win fights in the ring. He's also mastered the art of psychological warfare. But Roy Jones Jr. isn't the type to back down. Less than a month later, on August 12th, he fired back in an interview with Ring magazine. Calling Mayweather's Instagram stunt low class, Roy said the videos only proved Floyd couldn't handle the truth.
If you named off your top 5 fighters of all time right now, 3 or 4 out of that 5 will be black, right? What top black fighter did Floyd Mayweather face and beat handily in their prime when he was in his prime? Not one.
Then he raised the stakes. Roy claimed Floyd's spotless record wasn't as impressive as people think, because many of the names on it weren't true champions at the time. Most were ex-world champions, he said, pointing to Mayweather's timing, fighting Canelo Alvarez when he was too young, taking on Manny Pacquiao after Juan Manuel Marquez had already knocked him out, and completely avoiding Terence Crawford altogether. Roy even went as far as to say Pacquiao had a better career. According to him, Pacquiao fought the toughest competition when they were in their prime, while Floyd waited until opponents slowed down. And while Mayweather made more money, Roy insisted it was Pacquiao who fought the fights that were supposed to be fought when it was time to fight them.
You understand me? Then they start talking about, well, he beat 23 ex-world champions. Yeah, put the line in front of it. They were ex-world champions, most of them. They weren't world champions at the time. And then you fought a De La Hoya when he was in older, and you struggled with him. Your daddy say you lost. You understand me? So it's like, man, I'm entitled to my own opinion. Sugar Leonard said the same thing. If you're gonna get mad about that, then come see me. I mean, you think you can whoop me still? I ain't said no. Let's go.
It was a scathing attack, not just on Floyd's personality, but on his entire career. From there, things only got uglier. Roy accused Floyd of disrespecting Muhammad Ali, a move that ruffled feathers across the boxing world. Mayweather has always credited Ali for paving the way, but he's also been careful not to call him the GOAT. For Roy, that was unacceptable. He told interviewers flat out, if Floyd disrespects Ali, then he can't respect Floyd. The bad blood reached a boiling point when Roy issued a direct challenge. If you want to go there, we can go there, he said, making it clear that he'd be willing to settle this feud in the ring or outside of it.
What's happening, fight fans around the world? I know how y'all are. I know y'all enjoy this thing of boxing. I know we play games and people have their issues and people have opinions. It's cool too. I got opinions and I'm allowed to say my opinions or speak my opinions. And if somebody was trying to send me a subliminal message, it worked, because if you want to prove that you're better than me, I'm always ready. Wide open, ready to go. It's called.
Floyd, on the other hand, brushed off the threats by making a technical comparison. He lumped Roy in with Ali, claiming that both relied too heavily on their legs and reflexes. Once their athleticism declined, Floyd argued they became vulnerable in ways he never did. In other words, Floyd wasn't just defending himself, he was positioning his style as superior to both Roy Jones Jr. and Muhammad Ali. At that point, it wasn't just a disagreement, it was a full-blown clash of egos.
Ali, the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights. Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali when he only had 7 fights. Ken Norton really beat Ali all 3 times. Go back and look at the fights. And I take my hat off to Roy Jones. Still beat more world champions than Roy Jones.
Two men battling not for titles, but for the right to control the narrative of boxing history. As the feud escalated, other fighters and celebrities couldn't resist weighing in, and their opinions only made the debate hotter. Jake Paul.
Roy's a legend, bro. You can't come for Roy like that. I would say Roy was better during the prime, but Floyd just stayed consistent his whole career, you know, so. But Roy was something different in his prime for sure.
The YouTuber turned boxer, who loves stirring up controversy, surprised fans when he actually sided with Roy Jones Jr. In an interview with Fight Hype, Paul didn't mince words. Nah, Roy is the legend, bro. You can't come for Roy like that. He went further, saying that in his prime, Roy Jones Jr. was simply different. An athlete so explosive and gifted that nobody could match him, not even Mayweather. Then came David Benavidez, the unbeaten super middleweight champion. He echoed the same sentiment, calling Roy's prime God-given talent and insisting that nobody could touch him when he was at his peak. According to Benavidez, Mayweather's technical brilliance was unmatched. But prime Roy Jones was on another level entirely, almost like he was playing a different sport. Not everyone agreed, though.
You know, Floyd posted that story where he showed Roy Jones getting knocked out, and then Roy said what he said, and it was like, now it's beef. So, hey, best way to handle beef is to fight.
That's what Tarver said. Just let him fight. Let him fight.
Just let him fucking fight. I seen Mayweather train, and I was in Dubai with him on one of the exhibition fights. And I tell you that Mayweather can come back and fight professional against some of the best men in the world right now. So,
Claressa Shields, the two-time Olympic gold medalist and current face of women's boxing, defended Mayweather. Asked how she thought a fight between the two would play out if it happened today, Shields confidently replied, "I would love to see it. I don't think Roy can do anything with Floyd. Floyd can still fight right now. So I would have to say Floyd wins." The divide was clear. Younger fighters admired Roy's freakish talent, while others respected Floyd's consistency and longevity. On social media, the split was even sharper. Fans flooded timelines, arguing over resumes, fighting styles, and what prime really means. Suddenly, this wasn't just Roy versus Floyd. It was a generational debate about two very different definitions of greatness. Just when the drama couldn't get any messier, 50 Cent jumped in. The rapper turned business mogul has a long history of beef with Mayweather, and he wasn't about to miss this moment. On August 10th, 50 posted a now viral Instagram jab, showing off a golden goblet allegedly owned by Mayweather. He claimed it was being pawned for $80,000, mocking Floyd by writing, "Damn, champ, you pawning shit? They just hit me asking if I want it." It was vintage 50, sarcastic, ruthless, and perfectly timed to pile onto Floyd's bad press. This wasn't the first time 50 had clowned Mayweather's finances. Earlier in the year, rumors swirled about Floyd's supposed bankruptcy and a $100 million lawsuit he filed. 50 roasted him then too, calling his business claims all cap and mocking him for flaunting properties and assets that, according to critics, he never really owned. By inserting himself into the feud, 50 Cent shifted the story from a pure boxing debate into something larger: Floyd's lifestyle, his money, and his public image. To his haters, 50's posts painted Floyd as a flashy showman desperately clinging to his aura of wealth. To Floyd's defenders, it was just another jealous attempt to tear him down. Either way, it added another layer of drama that made the story impossible to ignore. As the war of words raged, fans couldn't help but ask the question, what if these two actually fought? Roy Jones Jr. didn't shy away. In multiple interviews, he said he'd be willing to fight Mayweather, but only in a real, sanctioned bout, not one of Floyd's highly controlled exhibitions. "If you want to go there, we can go there," he declared. It wasn't just talk. Roy made it clear he would step back into the ring if Floyd was willing. On the other hand, Mayweather continues to do what he does best: pick and choose his battles. At 48, he's still fighting exhibitions around the world, cashing in while keeping his perfect record safe. Roy, at 56, is older, but the fire in his words makes it clear that he's not done, at least not mentally. Realistically, a sanctioned fight between the two is unlikely. The age gap, the weight difference, and the risk for Floyd all make it improbable. But that hasn't stopped fans from debating endlessly. Would Floyd's defensive genius neutralize Roy's unorthodox speed and power? Or would the sheer explosiveness of Roy Jones Jr. overwhelm even the most calculated fighter in history? And beyond the fantasy prime versus prime matchup, fans are buzzing about what would happen today. Even at their advanced ages, people are curious. Could Roy still land something on Floyd, or would Mayweather's conditioning and ring IQ keep him untouchable? The debate itself has become part of the spectacle, fueling clicks, headlines, and heated arguments across the boxing world. At the heart of this feud, it's not just about who would win in the ring. It's about ego, legacy, and the one thing fighters never stop fighting for: respect. Roy Jones Jr. wants the world to remember that in his prime, he was untouchable. The kind of athlete you only see once in a generation. Floyd Mayweather, meanwhile, guards his 50-0 record like a crown jewel, reminding everyone that skill, discipline, and business sense made him boxing's ultimate winner. Their war of words has already given fans what feels like a dream matchup, even if it only exists in interviews, Instagram posts, and headlines. Whether they ever step into the ring or not, one thing is certain. In the court of public opinion, Mayweather versus Jones Jr. is already happening. And the question that lingers, and keeps fans coming back, is this: who really comes out on top? The undefeated defensive genius, or the explosive king who once looked untouchable? Let us know your thoughts in comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video to support the channel. Subscribe to Boxing is Here for the latest updates, fight breakdowns, and expert analysis. And turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Until next time, peace out.